some days you gotta give. Say some days you gotta take. If that's the way it's gotta be. Roll it over and you will see. The city streets are full of people going nowhere they can turn. To change from night to day is really only out just along the line. Can't you see the sign?
Welcome to November, my friends. Happy Monday. Daily show, hitting you on RiverBender.com and anywhere you watch this show. And what a great Alton Halloween parade. Love the coverage and really proud of the team. Thank you to all of you that tuned in. We had a worldwide audience. That's crazy. Crazy awesome in a good way. RiverBender just celebrated 20 years as well on Halloween night, and it's a great time to be a part of the team. We have an awesome show for all of you planned. Coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we're going to be talking to Adam Marburger. This is exciting. We're not talking a grand opening. We're talking one of the biggest grand openings I think that we've seen in quite some time, with giveaways and you name it for Elite Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to be talking to Adam in a couple of minutes. Then at 10:10, a really important conversation, too, with Mary Cordes, Beyond the Shelves in a Different Way. We're going to be talking to them about some upcoming developments and more. Then at 10:35, Mary Lamie of Bi-State Development. She will join us as well to spotlight those new resources that are connecting area youth to aerospace and aviation careers. So a ton of really cool conversations coming up on the show in the next couple of minutes. Oh, and I almost forgot, at 9:40, Rusty Wheat's going to be joining us too and talking about just some really great contributions from area businesses and them stepping up to help him contribute to the area litter problem with his chain gang initiative. But at 9:10, we'll dive right into news and get this Monday going. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app today. The Alton Halloween Parade float competition concluded with winners across multiple divisions. In the commercial category, top honors again went to orthopedic and sports medicine, Tarleton Harmon, and Allied Pest Control, second and third. The organization division winners include the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in first place, Junior League of Greater Alton finished second, and Alton Pride finished third. In the family division awards, they were claimed by the Paxton Belchick Racing family at number one. Geisen family came in second, and Ambiance by Dara came in third. The junior youth division recognized the Children's Tribe, a Montessori Academy, for first, St. Mary's for second, and Evangelical for third. And senior youth champions were Marquette Catholic and the Alton High School FCCLA. And it was a great community celebration that really captured the spirit of this year's parade. You can see that recap at RiverBender.com/video. Just really great coverage again. Proud of the team. As we start to recognize our area veterans ahead of Veterans Day, we're going to take you to Bethalto, as native Sophie Brown has been serving as private first class in the U.S. Air Force Military Police. Since 2023, Brown chose to join the military to protect the United States, leaving behind her twin sister to answer the call to serve. Her family, they express immense pride in her bravery and dedication. Lisa Wolf, a family member, describes Sophie as a hero driven by a strong commitment to national security. The family's admiration highlights Brown's courage and resolve to safeguard the country, and her service remains a source of inspiration and pride for her loved ones. If you would like your loved one who is a veteran to be spotlighted in our Veterans Spotlight as we get closer to Veterans Day, you can do that by going to that Veterans Resource page at RiverBender.com and submitting that form. We want to thank all the businesses that are a part of those contributions that help us provide that not only on RiverBender, but also in our print distribution with Buzz Magazine. Also in the news today, B-Town Restaurant, a family-owned eatery in Bethalto. They've quickly become a community favorite since opening just a few days ago. Owned by Ari, a chef with 25 years of experience, the restaurant offers a warm, hometown atmosphere with fresh, home-cooked meals prepared daily. Serving breakfast all day alongside sandwiches, burgers, salads, and daily specials, B-Town emphasizes quality and family values. The owner and his family, longtime residents of Bethalto, are dedicated to supporting their local community through exceptional food and service. They're open daily with extended hours, and the restaurant continues to attract locals eager to enjoy its welcoming environment and its delicious menu. You can see more on that story at RiverBender.com/news. Also in the news today, Joan Wilkins, 84, is rebuilding her life after losing her home and belongings in a house fire on October the 29th in Madison. Fortunately, Wilkins was not at the home during the fire and is currently staying with family. However, her granddaughter, Erin, has started a fundraiser to help cover expenses as Wilkins had no active homeowner's insurance at the time of the fire. All donations will go directly to Wilkins to help her find a new home and replace what is lost. The family thanks the community for their prayers, kind words, and generous support during this difficult time. Finally, in the news this 9 o'clock hour, we spoke about it just a few minutes ago very briefly, but on Friday, RiverBender, we celebrated 20 years of dedicated service to all of you as the leading independent news platform in the region. Since its launch on October 31st, John Hendrick, the owner, has grown the site to a multimedia hub. We've grown to Ed Gwynn Today and Metro East Star, and continue to grow with shows like our own, our daily show, and with Brian Truss in the afternoon. The platform averages about 30 to 40 daily news articles just for you every day, and it's driven by a committed local team led by Dan Brannon. Just to help celebrate our 20 years, we want to thank you and just encourage you to keep on reading and just to get a free account. You unlock so many more benefits, including all of those articles for free with a free account. No subscription needed. If you want to subscribe to us and help support that way, we always encourage that. We keep growing that as well, and that helps take off all the ads that you see on your site. That's another great incentive to be a part of the team that way. But as we look forward, it continues to remaining innovative, and we want to support local and just thank you for 20 years right here in the 618. Let's look at weather. 47 degrees in downtown Alton. It don't feel like it by much. It feels like it's 50 out there. Today, plenty of sunshine and clear and partly cloudy as we head into the evening. Air quality at 52, which is right around moderate, but mold counts are starting to creep up today, so might need to take a Claritin. Today's temperatures reach 63 degrees and drop down to 37. That'll be the coldest of the week. But on Tuesday, listen to this, temperatures reach 70 degrees. That'll be the warmest and drop down to 49 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, a high of 65, a low of 39 degrees. And on Thursday, a high of 63, a low of 52. On Friday, we head into the weekend with a high of 63 and a low of 40. And there's no rain in the forecast for the next 5 days. That's a look at it, and here's what's happening now. 47 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 50 for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, before we take a quick break, let me fill you in on this. I mean, we're past Halloween. Thanksgiving it's in this weird place now, I feel like, in society where we know it's there, but just like media and like, the stores, they kind of forget about it. We're already into Christmas, and I was actually at Lowe's. They had a $500 Yeti from, the Abominable Snowman from Rudolph. It was crazy cool, 10 feet tall, but I'm just thinking, what happened to a 10-foot, Thanksgiving turkey? You don't see very of those anymore, but RP Lumber's saying, hey, there is a November sale, and it's the perfect time to think about all those hard-to-shop-for people for Christmas. I mean, think about it. My grandpa's one of them. He has every tool you need. He has everything you really could want. What do you get him? What do you get him that's special? Well, RP Lumber's starting to help you think about that with 30% off all in-stock Power Zone and Worklight equipment, and much more than that. I mean, we're talking $19 to $22 on those clear high safety vests to keep everyone safe. But here's where I think it gets really interesting, because you can get some of these really cool 10-piece wrench sets and a 72-tooth 12-point ratcheting combo. That's a lot of really good material right there. 40% off, $30. That's regularly $100, and that's a great gift idea, and so much more. You can find out at RiverBender.com. That's RiverBender.com. You can click on the RiverBender.com wallpaper, or just go to that website, and when you stop into the store nearest you, don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show on a Monday comes back to you next.
Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
One look at you and I can't disguise. I've got hungry eyes. I feel the magic between you and I.
Our Monday, our month of November even, starts off with Adam Marburger and the biggest grand opening celebration I think Alton's seen in a long time. Adam, you've got to be a little tired. How are we doing today?
I'm broke as well. I'm tired and poor. I might have to get another job. Well, I'm doing great though.
This is so cool. So, before we even dive into the grand opening celebration as a whole, let's just brief our audience, and if they're not familiar, Friday, November the 14th is the big date for Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, but it's been a busy couple of months for you at transition, and at 2716, that's the old Halpin Music Building.
Yeah. Well, it's behind the old Halpin.
Behind the old Halpin.
It's the old orthodontics office.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But still a beautiful spot.
Oh, yeah.
You are just starting a new chapter. And now take me through those last few months, though, because this was kind of just an incredible story in general.
Yeah, and the community rallied behind us. So we were wrongfully evicted out of Nautilus. We got kind of kicked to the curb with very little notice. And it was like it was a tragedy that turned into a massive opportunity. We were having a really difficult time finding a building, and this off-market deal fell in my lap. And it was perfect. So last couple months have been very challenging for us. Our students haven't been able to train, but starting next Monday, we're back into the gym, and our grand opening's on the 14th of November. So,
well, and it's not even just about the training, because there's so many gyms anyone can train at, but it's the atmosphere that's created in a specific gym. And I know that's probably been missed more than anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that team camaraderie. I mean, we're a family. Like we talk about, it's a third home. You got your home, that you reside in. You've got your work that we spend a lot of hours in, right? Well, we need an escape from work, and sometimes we need an escape from home. And what we have is that our jiu-jitsu academy is our third home, and we've been without that third home for several months now.
Take me through the renovation, because I'm sure that this was not just some paint and a couple of light bulbs put in.
Put it this way, I'm a couple $100,000 into the reno. So we
incredible.
completely gutted it. We kept the bones. Everything's new, from the plumbing to the electrical. We have over 2,000 square foot of unobstructed open mat space. Child care center. I mean, we have great locker rooms with showers, and it's absolutely incredible what we did.
So how did you guys come up with that renovation design? What was it? Was it just a team concept, or was it a vision that you had?
Team concept. We came together. Steve Fisher led the charge on this. And what we knew we wanted was something like over the top nice, but we wanted a lot of open mat space. So you're going to be able to come in, parents are going to be able to sit in the waiting area and still they can get some work done, but they can still view their kids if they want to view their kids.
That's so cool. Well, in the open mat space, it doesn't seem like a lot of facilities have that much square footage to be where you're able to really move around and have, multiple classes going or have multiple opportunities going at the same time.
Yeah, we're going to run, there's potential to run multiple classes at a time. But
I bet.
The whole idea, you could have 100 people comfortably training, so at our last place, about 30 was kind of maxed out. So,
this is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure too with the team, it gets kind of depressing, at the start, because you're going, where the hell do we start?
Yeah.
How does the off-market deal fall? And was it just the Facebook post or the
I don't know.
The message? Was it just one of those things?
A gift from God. A gift from God. So it was one of those things we looked at building after building. And I'm looking at spending $3,500, $4,500, $5,000 a month in rent. To rent, and I'm a real estate investor, so the idea, like, God bless my fellow landlords out there, to rent something for that kind of dough. So I was kind of depressed. At one point, I'm like, do I hang it up? Yeah. Do we just move on to the next chapter? But then I got a phone call. A gentleman reached out and said, hey, I got this property. I'm looking to retire. And before it hit the market, I made a deal. I got a really fair deal. He got a fair deal, and I got a fair deal.
That's incredible. Yeah. And it's really cool how it all worked out like that. And what I think's awesome too is if you look at the Facebook page, and you guys can follow along at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook and Instagram too.
We're on Instagram. We're on the old Facebook. Yes.
Well, and check it out, because you guys are really supportive of the team, and you just had a pre grand opening meeting that I saw, and just having everybody at the table again. Yeah. And I think it showcases really that team mentality that you have on the mats, and then behind it and closed doors too.
Amen. 100%. It's all about family. We are one family unit on and off the mats. We lift each other up when we're down. We build each other up even when we're even up on top, right? It's just such a collaborative effort. Our coaching staff is world class. We have such an incredible coaching staff, and I can't wait for our students to see what's in store for them.
Didn't you just add a coach?
We just added Dylan Dalton. He's just recently got his black belt. He's a high-level competitor, a total nerd for jiu-jitsu. This guy studies and studies, and it's really, going forward, it's about the guest experience. We want, whether you're first day on the mat or you're a high-level competitor, it's about you, it's about the guest experience, and we're going all in on that experience for our team.
Well, and we've talked about this before. It's, there's no sense in bringing somebody in that's new and treating them, with little respect, or, beating them up, or, putting them at, or tying them down, that doesn't build anybody. That just runs them away. Amen. And so the atmosphere that you guys have created over the years at Nautilus, and even now, is really meant for families too. And I think that's a really good notion. Yeah.
And one thing to piggyback off that, I grew up in fight clubs. I grew up in places you would go and you would fight and you would leave and you're getting beat up. And I liked it at that point in my life. But when I look back on that and I look in the future now, it's like, first of all, there's a lot of people that want to do martial arts. There's a lot of people that want to try boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu, but they're a little insecure. They're hesitant. They're like, what do I expect? So what you expect at our academy is family-friendly, welcoming atmosphere. Every class is beginner-friendly, and we stair-step you. If you want to be a high-level competitor, we got a place for that. If you want to be a casual hobbyist, we've got a place for that. If you want to dip your toe into the water and just kind of feel it out, we got a place for that. So we're that gym for those that are a little hesitant, a little bit insecure. We've got your back.
Well, and it's not just a place either where you just go sit over there. It's an atmosphere that it works for everybody, where you have that person, in that course designed for them. And I think that's such a really good thing for people that are maybe nervous about it, or going, hey, I had a terrible experience at, X, Y, and Z studio or martial arts place, and I want to give it a go again, but don't know where to start.
Yeah, and our place is the perfect place to start. I mean, the relationships that have been forged in the four walls of our gym, and we have fun along the way. We learn great technique, but we build this team camaraderie. I mean, some of the relationships that reside are like the best relationships that I have with the people on our team. So,
incredible.
yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, coming up on November the 14th, that's when you can celebrate it with Adam and the whole team and the community too. This is going to be awesome, man. So where do we start? It's 4 to 8 p.m., but I mean, you got live music, you got food, you have giveaways that are just incredible.
Yeah, I decided, when I started this conversation with I'm broke, but I decided to go all in. And when I say all in on this deal. So from 4 to 8, come hungry, come thirsty. All right. So we've got Riviera Maya coming in to do the catering. We've also got another truck for the kids with popcorn and snacks and hot dogs. We've got a mobile bar. If you want, the adults want to have an alcoholic beverage, we've got a mobile bar. We've got live entertainment. We've got bands. But here, what's really cool is we've got some giveaways.
Yeah, these are big. I mean, like the TV's huge.
We've got well, the TV's kind of huge, but what we have is a PlayStation 5 we're giving away.
Oh, wow.
We're giving away a 65-inch flat screen TV. We're giving away a $500 gift card. We're giving away a yearly family membership. So we're giving away 4. There's no cost to entry. You're going to register. We're going to register when you get there. You're going to get 4 raffle tickets. We're going to do the drawing at 7 p.m. And we'll see who the lucky winners are.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And now, so why don't we do this? It's 9:30. We'll take our first break of the conversation. We'll come back and talk with Adam some more, and we'll just tease you a little bit because there's a lot more to this. But what I love before we take that break is you have your neighbors there with Riviera Maya and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to be so much fun. But Sip Mobile Bar, I got to learn more about. Back in a moment.
Yep.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I just want to point something out because I got one of those comments that said, "Why does CJ look like he just woke up?" I was trying to hunt a bat and a bird today in the office, and I just want to point out, like I thought, I had my nice little pullover on, and then I dove for a bird, and it was not pleasant. I'm glad Sydney didn't get any video. I would have lost all my sponsors.
That's funny.
back with Adam. So, Adam,
I think you look great.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm sorry my hair's a little disheveled. This is what I think is cool. Is I met a couple of your coaches before, and we all have on the show.
Yep.
But when you grow and grow, but you also grow in a way where you have everyone's feedback on it, where everyone's feeling like they're a part of that decision-making process. You grow in a way that's organic. And now take me through, this last couple of months. I mean, you told me there's a time, who knows? We might hang it up. This deal falls into your lap. And when you have these conversations with the coaches, what was the initial thought? Was it, let's just stay the size we are, or was it, we got to add because the iron is hot?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of negativity that surrounded us.
I bet.
It was and the community rallied. Like I put a single post out on Facebook that got like 600 shares. I put a video out there that got 50,000 views.
Yeah, you humbled me really fast.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the community. So at first our daubers were down. We're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
But then we saw how the community rallied. We're like, we got to go big.
Yeah.
We got to go big. So we knew we wanted our standalone. We knew that a standalone would be great because I felt at some level we were kind of limited on how far we could grow inside of another building.
Right.
So we knew that we wanted space to where we could comfortably have 60, 70 people training at one time. We knew we wanted separate locker rooms, and we knew we wanted childcare because there's a lot of parents out there, young parents that have 3, 4, 5-year-olds who are like, well, I can't train jiu-jitsu. I can't come to kickboxing. Who's going to watch my kids? No, we got your back.
Yeah.
My daughter, Arabelle, she's kind of heading up with Jacqueline. Arabelle's going to be, she's going to be helping out in the daycare center. She's so good with, she's like the kid whisperer. Every kid gravitates to my daughter. So we're going to have childcare services. It's going to be so fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what's really cool about this is, so many times we hear about, business developments in terms of like incubators and I think it's great. But whenever you have businesses like, yours, martial arts studios that are innovative and they're growing to these new heights that have these components of it that, these bigger cities will have or these higher end areas, that's where it gets really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we hear. You know me well enough now. My other businesses, I don't play small. I play to win.
Right.
And I knew with this, there's a reason why we rebranded Alton Elite. We are the elite martial arts.
That's
academy.
what I was curious.
We have
about.
the coaching staff like nobody else has. Mm-hmm. We have the credentials that nobody else has. And we decided we wanted something not just the nicest in the area, but one of the nicest gyms in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So this academy, when it's done, it's going to be flawless. When people walk through the door, they're going to go, wow, I can eat off the floor. I mean, pristine, everything. We're all about the cleanliness. How does it present? It's all about the experience for the guest.
This is just so cool. And you guys can experience this for yourself November the 14th for the grand opening, 4 to 8 p.m. And this is where you can try out the new home, meet the coaches, and experience what it's truly like with food, drinks, music, giveaways. And the music, you guys got someone cool coming in. You got Levi McAtee and Jason and Olivia do awesome work with Porch Cafe, but them solo and by themselves are just spot on.
Yeah, we just wanted some really incredible acoustic music, great voice. It's going to be the vibe's perfect for this grand opening. So we're honored and privileged to have them join us.
I almost wonder if you can get him to do an acoustic Tennessee whiskey because I'm telling you, he's best around for that.
Let's do it. We'll throw it in. We'll get a suggestion box. We'll let them,
Now, are the tacos and all that a paid for thing?
We funded this whole thing.
Oh, wow.
We funded the whole thing. So you're going to be able to show up. You're going to eat well. You're going to drink well. You're going to have an experience. Hopefully you win something, and it's all on us. We paid for the whole bill.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
So you get tacos, drinks, and cocktails by Sip Mobile Bar. This is something like new that I've heard of, but apparently they're a big deal.
Yeah. They're a very, very big deal. They do a lot of high-end events, a lot of stuff over in St. Louis. Wow. They will refer several people. I put one post out on the old. It's amazing how Facebook leads you to people, right? I put a post out on the old Facebook, and all signs led to them, and they were available. So we hired them.
Well, and what I think is cool is, your network is so unique in the sense, I mean, it's not just Facebook, but it's also the people you meet, on the ground and in the air every day, because you travel more than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
unfortunately,
right.
Yeah.
But, whenever you're on flights and, whenever you're doing your day-to-day job, it's got to be cool to open up the phone and really just focus on this for a few minutes and really just enjoy it.
Yeah. So I've told all my business partners and all my other deals that the month of November, leave me alone.
No
All right?
kidding.
I
Good
gotta
for
go to
you.
I gotta go to Fort Lauderdale on Wednesday for a meeting, but outside of that, my November is pretty wide open. I want to focus on this little baby right here. This is what I need to focus on. And it's, out of all my businesses, I'll be very honest, vulnerable here.
Mm-hmm.
This business provides the least amount of income for my family.
Right.
But it brings the most amount of joy. And so this is not about making money to me. This is about making an impact in the community and making an impact with our students. So this is my passion project. I love this more than anything.
So cool. And I love the fact that, you're bringing your daughter in on this too and having that family component.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And now too, you can have another incentive to go. We talked about this already, but how about a year of family membership to Alton Elite or a 65-inch flat screen? Now, here's what I would do, Adam. I'd win it. And I'd put it right in some wrapping paper, and that'd be Christmas gift, and I would win Christmas immediately.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a smart play.
Bring it to rob your neighbor. You know, that way you're always going to win. And then PlayStation 5 and a $500 gift card.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a giveaway like that in a while.
Yeah, we just wanted to make a statement. Here's the idea. We want people, we're proud of what we built.
Mm-hmm.
We want the community together to have a really nice night together. We just want as many eyeballs on our incredible facility because the impact that we're going to make in the youth, it's all about the youth.
Right.
Like we're building this community from the youth. We got to focus as entrepreneurs. We got to invest into the youth. They're the future. So the transformation and the lives changed in the four walls of our academy over the last 8 years is remarkable. So how many students and young people can we affect change in? So that's what it's about.
You're so right. There was something that was I read the other day, and they kind of echoed back. It was like Jimmy Carter's crisis of confidence thing, but the malaise, but it was for the youth because of just, so many young kids don't have confidence in themselves because of whatever. There's so many outliers, and you can pinpoint one, or you can just explore the whole generic term. But that's what happens whenever you don't have, some type of environment like the one in which you create, where you can say, hey, go ahead and fail. We're kind of cheering you on to fail because at least you're getting there.
Amen. Failure is the best recipe for success.
Right.
So, and the thing is too, I cannot stand bullies.
Right.
And so what we do is we bully proof your kids. We will make your kid have a better life within their four walls of their school. Yep. We build confidence in these young people. Now, we're not trying to train people to go out and start fights, but we will train your kids how to intelligently and appropriately defend yourself. Yep. That confidence that we instill. So that's the thing that I'm most proud of is us bully proofing the youth in this community.
It's just so cool, man. And I really mean that because you really can tell when a child that goes through, whether it's martial arts or anything that's structured that has your type of concept, because it has to be that type of concept. If it's not, then it's never going to work. It starts with not making eye contact when you're having a conversation, then to walking into a room with your shoulders perked up and really just enjoying all the atmosphere of it.
100%. And in this, I want to make this clear for any parents in the community. Listen, we teach kids realistic self-defense. Like we teach you kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. We're not kicking it, we're not breaking boards and doing forms. There's nothing against that, right? I mean, there's different martial arts. They all have their place, and I respect all martial arts. But I will tell you, we're legitimately teaching jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, and wrestling. We're going to give you the fundamentals to go out into the world, and if anything ever happens to you, you should be able to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. And, as we go into that a little bit more, take me through some of the coaches, and let's familiarize our audience with them and who we can see on the 14th.
Yeah, we've got Dylan Dalton. He's heading up our GI program. We've got husband, wife, Jacqueline and Stephen Coney.
So cool.
Jacqueline's my right-hand woman. She is the general manager. She's in charge. All right. I report to her now. Her husband is one of the most brilliant tactical technicians I've ever met. His technique is insane. So he's in charge of jiu-jitsu and he's a part of the youth program. We've got Tom Dawson, John Mayfield. They're heading up the Nogi jiu-jitsu program. Wow. They're world class. We're bringing in Brandon Lowe, professional MMA fighter, high level fighter. He's in charge of the striking and the MMA program. Who am I missing here? I'm sure I'm missing Stephen Fisher. He's going to come in as an assistant coach and back up. He's doing a couple of other deals, but he's there to help out as well as we need him. So
this is incredible.
And then I'm going to coach too. So I have been, because of work, I'm going to take on the Saturday class. I'm teaching advanced jiu-jitsu. It's going to be an incredible course. It's going to be a fun class that I get to teach on Saturdays. So I'm really excited about that.
Really cool. Adam, before I let you go, fill me in one more time on the 14th real quick.
Yeah, November 14th from 4 to 8, 2716 Corner Court, Alton.
I got this wrong.
Yeah.
It's right behind the Halpin Music
It's behind
Building.
Halpin, the old Halpin building, but it is going to be a night of network and fellowship and music and food and drinks and prizes. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be out on the streets passing these flyers out to everybody. We've invited all of our neighbors. I don't know if there's going to be 300 people there. I don't know if there's going to be 600 people there, but there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to shake hands and meet people. So, yeah.
We'll see you there. Adam, it's always a great pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
We'll take a quick break, and you'll be joining us in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and bring Jacqueline back with me.
This is really
bringing
cool.
back my boss.
My hair will be better. I won't be hunting birds at 8:30 in the morning. Hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll link everything in a write-up, and I hope to see you winning that 65-inch TV or one of those great prizes November the 14th, 4 to 8.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Gonna get fired if I don't get some sleep. My long lost buddies say I'm getting in too deep, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. I try so hard, I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about that little gal's loving, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
Oh, goodness. 9:47. We got a busy show, Russ.
Yeah, that's good.
Rusty Weed in the studio. Chain Gang, it is officially... Now, when do you start doing Christmas season? Is it after Thanksgiving or what the hell?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't give it much thought, to be honest with you. Outside of the family activities, I don't have any participation in Christmas.
Well, Santa only comes to non-littered roads, right?
I try to be good.
That should be the campaign.
I try to be good so Santa will visit me, but that doesn't happen very frequent.
I'm going to make a sign that says Santa only comes to clean streets, and we'll keep it right there, you know?
I would put that up.
That would be
I would
good.
Put that up. I'm advocating for IDOT to put up more signs.
Yeah.
You can't get enough of those litter signs up, especially on the exits.
Well, and people need to know that it is I mean, there's accountability there. You can't just throw your Big Mac bag out of the window. You know, I
Yeah.
saw someone do that the other day. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why would you do this?
Yeah, I'm so harsh with these trucking companies, MBI especially, and Republic. Of course, they're like Mo, Larry, Curly. I don't know who owns who, but at any rate, I'm so harsh on them all the time. But it's just the people that throw the McDonald's wrappers out on the exits and stuff, and the bottles.
That bothers me. I mean,
yeah.
Really that means it's not a litter thing anymore. You know, because sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes we all have an emergency. And things happen, and you got to do something.
Yeah.
But when you're throwing a beer bottle or a pack of cigarettes or whatever the hell, or the cellophane, that's just because you're lazy and you're disrespectful.
Yeah, and you see it so much. I'm the harshest as far as our board members, county board member chairman, Chris Flusher and stuff. But I support them, but I don't let them off the hook. And with that said, there's been a lot of effort on their part to control the trash.
Yeah.
Heavy police presence. But unfortunately, what I've been finding is after a week or so after the police presence, I'm still picking up about the same amount of trash as I was. But a lot of that, and like I said, in their defense, a lot of that is just people become accustomed to throwing stuff out the window.
I agree. I can.
The big items, I don't see the big items coming off the trucks anymore. It's the smaller items, the little smaller grocery bags and things like that. And that's just a situation where the nets are torn and trash is filtering through the nets. But it is interesting because I had a Madison County board member, Chrissy Wiley, reach out to me. And she come out to work with me, and she was very gracious, and her eyes were wide open. She saw a lot of things that I don't think she was aware of. And then a couple of days later, she found out some of the letters that I wrote to the board members. And she's like, Rusty, you got to cool it. You're pissing everybody off. And the more she dug into like talking to the Adam Walden, the highway commissioner, and other people, I've made a lot of, I don't have a lot of friends in some of those areas over there because I've been so harsh. And but I think she understands why, the nature of the beast. And I'm not running for office or anything. I have no political affiliation when it comes to that. So I want everybody to pay attention to her because I think she's actually going to try and make a difference. Chrissy Wiley from Bethalto, I think she's going to try and make a difference.
I appreciate that. And it's good, too, that whenever you come on here, I think that's where I think so many people that have initially when you came on, they were like, Rusty's just raising hell, but you are because you're very accountable. You've said before, you were a bull in a china shop, that's it happens. And you sometimes you got to though just to get this done.
You live and you learn, man. I knew nothing about board members, who was in charge, who did what, money was appropriated, nothing. I just knew there was trash on the roads, and I was sick of it. And at some point in time, you just got to do something about it, and that's what I started doing. I've been doing it, and I'm so appreciative of you allowing me to come on here because I've been doing this for quite a while now. It's been going on close to 4 years now.
Yeah, well, you deserve recognition. I mean, seriously.
Well, I'm not looking for the recognition, but
it's not just that. The issue needs to be talked about too, though, because this is stupid. I mean, we've talked about how many times police have so many more important things to do. If someone was just an adult and didn't throw things, and the trucking companies too, most importantly, are held accountable and they get the proper material. They got CEO, and I don't know not blaming a specific trucking company, but you got these people that are making buku bucks, and they can't take care of their trailers and their trucks, and this is ridiculous. It truly is.
If there's only one thing that in particular drives me crazy about the politics of Madison County is that if you're not an elected official, they really don't pay you much attention. I mean, I could show them all kinds of different ways and stuff, and they just get tired of hearing it. I mean, there's so much of it, but yet the problem continues. And but I'm optimistic. I do believe that we're going to get this done. I think there's been a vast improvement. As far as I don't find the swimming pool covers and big, huge items anymore.
Right.
I mean, that was just atrocious.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It is getting better, but that's neither here there nor there. I think that's enough on the negative part. Let's move on to some of the positives.
I like it. You adopted 2 new roads.
Yes, I have. I was very instrumental in trying to get Adam Walden from Madison County to reinstitute that Adopt a Highway program. But I was somewhat reluctant to adopt the roads myself because I like going where the trash is at. And if I have a particular road, then I can't. And if there's, like for the county roads, for instance, you don't need to clean those up as often. So if anybody's interested in adopting a county road, I would highly recommend that you look into it because they only need to be cleaned maybe about 3 times a year, 4 times a year.
I agree.
It's not so bad. It's just a walk in the park. But it was one of those situations where put up or shut up, Rusty. You wanted this damn program, and you haven't done anything to it. And the reason, and so I talked to Adam Walden. He asked me to get involved, and so I've adopted 2 roads. So not only do I have my roads with IDOT, I have roads with Madison County now. 2 new roads with Madison County that I've adopted.
Well, and the county roads are, I feel like, much safer sometimes than the...
Oh, absolutely.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you have a Boy Scout group or a church group, any type of activity, I would highly recommend you look into a county. And sometimes families can adopt a stretch in memory of their uncle or their grandfather. Like, for instance, I've done it with IDOT with my brother. But IDOT's a little trickier. You got to be a little more careful out there. But county roads, I would highly recommend that. And I've adopted 2 new roads, so I have a total of about 9 miles. 9 miles now that I clean up. I know my wife hates me, but I keep telling her to get in line.
Get in line. I hear you. That's actually a go-to of mine too. So with that being said, do you want to talk about what roads you adopted?
Well, it's nothing big. It's just Moreland Road off of 143 heading into Bethalto. I've adopted 3 miles of that. Okay. And then Wanda Road, it's about a mile stretch. I've adopted
that's
that.
what I was curious about.
But what's significant about that is the trucks, the trash trucks. If they don't come down 143 heading to the landfill, they'll come down Wanda Road. And if it's not, it's like Mo, Larry, and Curly, like I was talking about. Just pick your poison. They're both going to get trashed. So I live in that community, so I've been picking up them anyway. I've been picking up those roads anyway.
Right. So you're just making it official.
Yeah, I'm just making it official, and this way I'm working out so the Adam Walden, the highway engineer, can say, look, we've got X amount of charter groups, and I'm hoping to inspire other people, other charter groups, other family members, other small businesses. I'm waiting for John. I'm waiting for your boss, John, to jump in on that.
I keep trying. Now I think I want to do it so bad. I really do. We'll see.
The thing is, if anybody wants to do it, just reach out to me. I'll help you. That's what I was talking about, that Chrissy Wiley. I was like, if you adopt a road, I'll help you.
Well, now what's this berm highway cleanup that you're writing about?
When Pride does their cleanup recently, I always, when I get involved in that, I clean up the berm highway out there. That is the berm out by the museum, the River Museum, or is that the Beltline? I'm not. That's the.
Wait, which way?
Out by the River Museum along the river road.
Oh, going towards like the
from Wood River to Alton.
Oh yeah, that's the berm.
The berm. Yeah, I didn't know the terminology on it exactly, but it always bothered me when I'd come into Alton.
Oh, it looks
seeing
terrible.
all the trash along the road.
Terrible.
So when Pride would do their cleanup, that was the stretch of the road that I've been doing for the past 2 years. So I reached out to Martha Feister because I like her, some of the things that she does. And she seemed to be somebody to get something done. And so I asked her about it. Do you think we could organize a cleanup on that road? Because, man, when I do it, I just out there for like 2 hours and I'll come up with 6 or 8 bags of trash.
I bet.
It doesn't look that bad, but when you get into it, man, there's stuff that's in that grass that's been there for a long time.
Oh, it's nasty.
Yeah, it is. It needs a lot of work. The middle of the road needs a lot of work. So long story short, Martha said, that's not my area.
Right.
You have to contact Michael Veloff.
Yeah, he's Ward 3.
And so I sent a letter to Michael Veloff saying basically, let's get this cleaned up. In my mind, if you had about 12 people in a couple hours, you could do a huge impact on that.
I think he'll get back.
And I have not heard back from him yet. And then I mentioned it to Martha, and she said she's going to contact him.
Well,
I'm
he's
still
really
waiting.
he's normally really responsive.
Yeah, I hope so because
Yeah.
see, it's a difficult situation. Sometimes you piss a lot of people off. He works for this. I believe he works for the city of Wood River.
I don't know. I don't
and
know
the
if
city
that's
manager
true.
of Wood River is not one of my friends. He does not
I don't
like
think-
me.
I don't
Well,
know.
I had a cleanup organized, and I asked him to use 4 of the city barricades, and he turned me down.
Right. Well, no, I just don't know if Mike worked. I don't know if he
I
works
thought he
for
worked for
Wood
the city of
River.
Wood River. I'm not for
I don't
certain.
think so. I don't
You
know.
know?
And
I
that's why I
was
don't.
just looking on the profile or
Yeah.
something like that. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But like I said, I have good hope on that one. I
Well,
really
I do too
for
because
you.
I've heard good things about him, but I haven't heard back. And I'm, you know, the people have to pardon me because I don't like waiting. You know what I mean? When
You are not very
No,
patient. We
I
talked
don't.
about,
If
but no,
I-
neither am I. But you have to do this though,
Yeah.
Rusty, to push the issue forward.
if I'm writing you a letter and contacting you and you haven't spoken back to me in about a week or 2 weeks, well, then I guess I'm just taking the impression that you're not interested.
yeah, I get
know?
you. I get no.
And I'll
I
move
totally-
on. I'll move on because there's enough trash for everybody around here.
Yep.
So.
Now, is the berm, is that IDOT or is that?
Well, that is IDOT. That's 143. That is IDOT. But you have to understand, IDOT just doesn't get to every place that needs to be done.
Gotcha. So
You
it's,
know what I mean?
sometimes it takes a
Yeah.
local coordinated
If you're waiting for
effort.
IDOT, you might just be waiting a while.
Well,
you
yeah, I know,
Or
it makes sense.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
love this.
You know, I'm here. I'm ready to go. You know, so you know, plug me in. That's kind of what I, you know. But there
No,
again,
I-
I don't. I have a hard time with excuses, and I have a hard time with waiting. The trash is there. It needs to be done. Let's get on it. you know?
I get you. Do you have a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yes, I do.
We will come back with more of Rusty Wheat next, right after this.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
10:02. That's the time. Back with Rusty. Alrighty, this is the big part. This is the positive part.
Yeah, the best part.
The buried lead of CJ Nasello that he's known for. You know, I never knew what Hartman would say. Ray Hartman would do a show and he'd go, I buried the lead. And then he would say something like, what does bury the lead mean?
You always save the best for last.
Thank you. No, I didn't bury the lead in Rusty's mind. Thank you. Because Jim Murphy's landscaping, complete landscaping, he's an incredible advocate for the community.
Yeah, I think he's won that GOAT award now, that the best of the best, for like 19 years in a row. Now,
it's that award too, but it's also every time I see someone needing something in that community, sports team related, school related, or something for the kids, he is always there to support. He's
always supported all the schools, even the ones that his kids didn't participate, not the ones he graduated with.
Yeah.
He helped out all of them. And you will see his employees out there weed whipping the intersections of a lot of the exits and stuff, and he just does it to make the area look nicer.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
If you haven't used Jim Murphy, I highly recommend you look into what he does, because he employs a lot of area youth. He employs a lot. I mean, they do a lot of different things. And, there's so many specialized services that they don't do this, they don't do that. Jim does a lot of stuff. And so I highly recommend. But anyway, Jim contacted me. And it's like there's two great businesses that are trying to help me out. And Jim Murphy and his landscaping business, and one of them, he saw that I had a need for a trailer to move my barricades around. And because I simply can't get everything in my pickup truck. And so he graciously donated a trailer. They had a 14-foot trailer that he was using. And now it needed some work, and elbow grease and a little paint and stuff, but he provided me with some paint. And now I have a trailer that I could use to haul my barricades around with, and I'm so thankful.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a 14-foot trailer. He just donated.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 14 foot.
14, perfect condition. Needed maybe a board replaced here or there, and like I said, a little paint. But I can't be any happier in thanking him for his participation. So Jim Murphy, if you haven't tried him, please give him a shot. And the other person is, of course, one of my best friends, is Denise Sparks. Sparks Junk and Trash Removal. She saw that the county was not going to provide me any safety barricades, and so she stepped up and purchased me some herself. And so now when I'm out there on the road, because I could use the Roxana barricades in the Roxana jurisdiction, but if I'm working off the exits, off 255 and stuff, I don't have any barricades other than what I make. And so by Denise stepping up and buying me a couple barricades, it makes things a lot safer for me, and I'm a lot more advantageous to get out there and do some more of this work.
This is just
so
incredible.
I thank Jim Murphy and I thank Denise Sparks, and anyone that's listening, if you could give them an opportunity to earn your business, I don't think you'll regret it.
Absolutely. Well, Rusty, before I let you go, I just think it's great. What's the best way for a business if they want to support you like Jim and Denise have?
I've got everything I need. Those two businesses have given me
kidding.
They've given me everything I need. I buy my own trash bags. I don't need anything from the county. But what I would like the county to do is step forward and put together some programs that they could help out other individuals, not municipalities, but individual groups. Provide them with a few safety barricades. It's not a lot of money, and the investment is well worth it.
I agree.
So that's the only thing I could. So if you want to help me, talk to your board member, call Chris Fletcher's office, and just tell them that they think that they should institute some programs to help volunteer groups.
Really cool, Rusty. Before I let you go, we'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. We got Hayner Library joining us in about 4 minutes. Then we got Bi-State Development coming up at 10:35. Just real quick, because I look like a hot man. We had a bird and a bat in our office today, okay? I'm not a bird catcher. That thing scared the hell out of me. The bat was somewhere down here. I don't know if they got it this morning, but the bird's what I was focused on, and it was over the weekend with the bat. Anyway, so I looked good until I tried to catch the bird like Steve Irwin.
Well, you look great to me, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you letting me on here so much. This program has done so much for me. I just don't know what to say. I mean, you let me reach out to so many people, and so many people see this and respond accordingly. So thank you, and I thank your boss, Jim.
Really cool. Well, Rusty, thank you so much for your time, and we'll take a quick break and come back with more next.
Take care.
With over 20 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Is what I got is within my reach, and the subplot styles just straight from Long Beach. It all comes back to you. You're bound to get what you deserve. Try and test that. You're bound to get served. Love's what I got. Don't start a riot. You feel it when the dance gets hot. Love is what I got. I said remember that. Love is what I got. Remember that.
Back Daily Show. 10:11 is the time. I should not have said that about the bet. I should have waited till all the guests left today.
We've had them in the library before.
You know what my problem is? It's not just that. It made me self-conscious about my abilities to capture things because I was not helpful. I was the person that made it worse. I'm just going to be honest before we're going to talk about it. No, I didn't. I almost gave the bird a heart attack, Kevin. This thing didn't make it. Yeah, and PETA could have came.
We had a library. We had a bird in the library one time, and our maintenance man, I am not making this up, it flew past him and he just caught it. in midair, caught it with his hand. It was kind of still one of the most incredible things I've seen in the library. So
actually, people that have fireplaces in their homes, it's not uncommon for birds to come down the chimney.
Yeah, I never get
and then get in the house.
See, I haven't had that. I've had a mouse in my furnace, and the sound that made was terrible.
Oh, that's kind of scary.
I bet.
Well, all jokes aside, we've talked to Hayner Library for the last couple of years, and we've got to take a really behind-the-scenes look at a lot of the programs. We got to take an in-depth look at the events coming up, and what we've always talked about is just the resources, but we don't really talk about the need too much. It's always about what is provided to the community. And this time, this is a little bit more exciting because this is a building project and really a historic one for the library district. And Kevin, you're the chairman of the library district and the board, correct?
Correct.
And Mary, you're the executive director.
Yep.
And now take me through this. So Hayner Library is looking for a new building, correct?
Correct. What we're looking to do is right now our lease at Alton Square Mall ends in 4 years.
Yeah.
And so we've been in the mall since the late 80s, but it's time for us to look at possibly building our own facility outside of the mall and to put all of our resources into one building. So the Hayner building downtown will always be a library with the genealogy, I can't say it, local history library. I got it out, yeah. Where it's located, that will always be a library, but the other facility and then Alton Square, to combine them into one main building.
Wow.
And for us to own the building, not lease. Because right now we spend over $20,000 a month in rent.
In rent.
Plus, we're responsible for all of the maintenance.
This is what got me, and I'm so sorry to cut, but we were talking one day, and you had a repair done, and I didn't realize that was on you. And I thought for $20,000, that would be, and not to victimize anyone or make anyone feel bad, but I thought that would have been on the landlord because it's their building,
Correct.
But it's not, and it's not just on you. It's on the taxpayers, too.
Exactly right. So we've been spending $20,000 a month plus all of the maintenance. And for example, like you just talked about, when the HVAC system goes down and has to be replaced, that's on us. The mall is not responsible for that.
And our utilities. We pay the utility
so
bills,
we pay everything.
Yep.
We actually their tax bill, they just divide the tax bill up amongst the tenants, and we have to pay the tax bill. And so it all gets kind of lumped into those fees. And so, we think that it'd be a better situation, better for the taxpayers if we owned our own building and not pay rent to someone else.
And now, before we go any further about the building, just so I get this clear, it would be the library, and then would it be the local history library too?
Well, that would stay probably where it is now.
So that would always stay there.
The Hayner building, no matter what we use it for, will always be Hayner Library building.
And the local history library would probably expand down to the lower level of the building now, where now we have other tech services and we have the administrative offices.
Gotcha.
So they would get more space. And on top of that, there probably will be a section in the new building for that as well.
Do you see this just for like a children's space or anything like that, where you can, I don't want to say children's museum, but almost have that component of it with the new space in the new library? Or is this just for getting the main shell of the library put into place first?
Yeah. Are you talking about a potential new building or the current Hayner building?
So the new building, if there was a potential, would that just be for the main library, or would you see the opportunity for, some nuanced children's space?
We're looking for all of those opportunities.
Wow.
What can we do that make this better for the community? Not just what we've been doing, but what can we do now? Because right now we're limited because of our space constraints that we have. And this would allow us to dream big and to do other things that we don't have the ability to do now. Just like right now, our performance center room is in a different part of the library or the Alton Square Mall. That would allow us to have everything in one area and more convenient for the public.
For the patrons, because right now, we have a programming room upstairs at Alton Square Mall, which is working as well as it can for, we're trying to make it work, I should say. But some of the issues with that are accessibility. So, as we all know, the escalators at the mall have not worked since May.
Well, and that's what I was saying. You've been on so many times, and you've had to tell people.
Don't come in this way, don't come in that way. If JCPenney is closed, you can't come in that way. And then people will come to the program, but then they never go to the library because they're not in the same facility, and vice versa. So
when it goes back to that main question is, if you're paying $20,000 $5 a month for services and utilities to not work and all of these things. It's, again, not just the library, it's the taxpayer that's paying that. And that's a question that the taxpayers got to ask themselves if that's what's worth it for them.
Yeah, and the duplication of services too. You know, you're duplicating the downtown library and the Alton Square Library.
Yeah, you're right.
If you can combine them into one, it's one utility bill, it's one set of books because we duplicate up staffing. You know, and the staffing that we have could be utilized in a really fun way that's more. And not just fun, but more helpful to patrons because it would allow us to have more one-on-one tech support and more one-on-one reference work and more one-on-one hands-on, you know, helping patrons, getting them out into the community, us out into the community more. So
now it's efficiency too. You know,
absolutely
it's so much easier to obviously have everyone under one roof than to have multiple locations and drive or work and just have the disconnect of the cell phone too. Even where do you see this potentially being located?
That's a good question. We don't know yet.
Okay,
we are looking at all of our opportunities.
Okay,
so we're looking at the Alton area, the Godfrey area. We're looking at the area around Alton Square itself because that seems to be very popular. The Alton Square branch seems to be very popular with the public, and so was
it the location? The location,
yeah. I've asked the staff, like when people say, "Well, the mall's so convenient," and I say, "Can you follow that up with a question? Is the mall itself convenient, or is being on the Beltline convenient?" And it's always being on the Beltline. Yeah, because people find it difficult to get into us even at the mall. They have to navigate all the way through the mall.
Yeah. So we're looking at everything. So nothing's off the table.
Okay.
We do know we had a consultant help us come up with a building program. And one thing that we learned was repurposing buildings, in our case, doesn't really work. It actually would cost more to buy an existing building and retrofit it to what we need.
100%.
So it'd be cheaper for us to build brand new. And so that's where we're headed, I think, is that we're looking at, building something that's brand new, that's designed to be a library. The question is where and how much land.
Yeah.
The next step in this process is hiring an architect. And because the architect has to tell us, will this piece of land work or not? And so hopefully we're in the process now of getting we just sent out requests for qualifications for the architects. They're due back in the middle of November. Then first part of December, we'll be interviewing architects, and we hope to have the board approve an architectural firm or a design build firm, one or the other, to help us with that process. And go ahead.
Well, and now after that, how do we know whenever we're really moving here? So we hire the firm, we start these plans.
Yep.
When do you foresee the possibility of that big news of we potentially found a plot, or we're going to break ground, or what's the process after that? Does that go back to the voter?
That's a good question. It doesn't necessarily go back to the voter at this point. Okay, so what's going to happen is once we hire the architect, then the architect will work with us to do our design build firm. Let me explain real quick what the difference is. An architect's going to come in, they're going to design the building. They're going to do the schematics or whatever that we need, help us identify a site. And then if you do that, then we have to hire a contractor to come in to do the rest of the work, an engineering firm. So if we do design build, that's like a one-stop shop. So the design build firm would have the architect, they would have the engineers, they would have the design build, they would have everything. And they also assist with the financing side of it as well, help us to identify sources of funding for this program.
Yeah.
And so that's the next step. And so the next step is to do that. Hire the person, probably will be in January when we hire the company.
Okay.
And then shortly after that is to start identifying land, have them do their evaluation of the land. And then hopefully by sometime in the spring, we can go back to the public and say, we've identified a piece of property, this is where it is, and this is our plan.
This is so exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting because, and I mean, I've been at the library for 30, this week I think is my 30th
No kidding,
30th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But, having gone from being a page, which is, entry level, shelving the books, all the way now to the director. So for 30 years, and Kevin, you've been the same way, you've been on the board for 40 years. I mean, you know, knowing how the buildings, we've had to adapt to these buildings, and we've always had to work for the building. The building has never worked for us.
Right.
And we've made it work. We've made it work. But now, you know, it is exciting to think, like, what could we do for the community? What can we do for the public?
So cool.
And actually have a building that works for us instead of us trying to spend our entire day, where do we put this? How do we make room for this? How does the building, you know, here's the floor plan we have, here's the floor plan we need. How do we make this work? It's exciting.
And it's interesting talking about, you know, buildings, existing buildings, and how you have issues with them. When we renovated the current library downtown, there is one column in that building that everything had to be designed around. Mm-hmm. And that became a real obstacle to what we really wanted to do, because it came down to that one column. And we don't want to have that problem again, because we did the best we could do to work around that one obstacle.
Yeah. And existing buildings, a couple of people over the weekend, after they've been reading the newsletters or the news releases and the news articles, have asked me, you know, why not renovate like a school or this, that, or the other? A lot of it comes down to, I think, on average, a library or a building needs about 40 to 50 pounds per square foot of load capacity. Libraries need 150 pounds per square foot of load because of the heaviness of the books.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so a lot of these buildings that people say, oh, what about this school? But they're great ideas, and we've looked at all of these. They don't hold the load, and so then to retrofit a building, you're bringing in steel, you're bringing in things that kind of are cost inefficient.
Well, and too, like if even like me, the one that makes, there's two, and that would be Clara Barton or McKinley, and both of them are thousands of dollars a month to heat and cool too.
Yeah, right. And we've looked at those.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, and Mary talked about how many pounds per square foot. That's exactly why the library moved at Alton Square from the second floor to the ground floor.
That makes sense.
Because when we looked at expanding, because we did look at expanding that facility 10, 15 years ago, when we looked at it, that floor is only rated for like about 50 pounds, 75 pounds per square foot. We needed the 150 pounds per square foot, so that forced us to go down to the main level.
So there's a lot of things that libraries are different in ways that other buildings aren't. When I say we've looked at schools, you know, we've talked about all of this. I should say, you know, we've talked about existing places and
I just think the obvious not even argument, the obvious thought when someone says why build new is very calmly answered by saying, look at what you've accomplished with the space that you've had to work with.
Right.
You've had innovative programs. You've had programs for the first time, really, that a lot of area libraries have seen them, and then they've adapted, or you guys have your network, which was really cool. But you know, when you're able to create a space that's really yours, think about all the new increases and ways that you can really bring the library to the people, and that's really just, to me, you guys have earned it at this point.
Yeah, well, we nearly had. I mean, last year we had almost, I think it was 117,000 people that came in and used the library.
It's incredible.
And that's in the facilities that we have now. You know, our thought is, how exciting would it be to have this brand new space where we can offer more and bring even more people? I would love to see that number even double if it would be possible, and I think a new building would allow us to do that.
And and you talked about the new building too. We want to be responsible in what we build.
Yes.
And that was one of the nice things about dealing with our consultant, is he brought up that a lot of, when buildings are designed by architects, nothing against architects, but you have a lot of wasted space.
I can see it.
How do we get around those big vestibules that you walk into, big foyer areas that really don't get utilized, and it's not productive to the building? And so we want to build a building that is, as you walk in the front door, is a productive, flowing building that's of usable space, not wasted space. And because of that, that means the building can be, is not going to be larger than what it needs to be.
Yeah.
I think one important component of this, too, for the public to note is just, because you never know what the glass ball is going to tell you in a year or 6 months.
Exactly.
Is that it's not the Alton Library District, too. It's the Hayner Library District that has a couple of different towns and jurisdictions that make up of it.
Correct.
Do you see it ever leaving to where, like you mentioned Godfrey earlier, could the location be in Godfrey instead of, on a Godfrey Road or whatever, comparatively speaking to a Beltline? And, is that something that you're prepared, because it seems like the public really likes those traditions. Is that something that's kind of been talked about yet on?
That definitely has been talked about, and we're not ruling out, anybody, because it's all part of the district.
Yeah.
And one thing that, in Alton, for example, Alton is always going to have a library within the
downtown
city because of the downtown facility has to be a library. So that's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we look at our population growth? Where's the population center at today? It's changed over
a lot.
50, 60, 70, 80 years or more.
Yeah.
And so now we're looking at that too. Where is the population growth? What do we see the future to be? And then look at those alternate sites, whether it's Alton, Godfrey, even Foster Township, because if you think about Foster Township, which is a part of the district, it actually takes in part of Humbert Road.
Yeah.
And so in that general area there. So that's
all
interesting. A possibility.
Yeah, it's a big district. And I think, the board and myself have been really mindful of the fact that it's a big district and everything that Kevin said. And then also being mindful of the fact that we have neighborhoods, of families and people. And Alton, I mean, we are looking at everything because we're such a big district. Trying to find something that's geographically close to everybody is a difficult task that has that much space.
You hit it on the head there. And I think that I think at the end of the day, too, this is coming down to a common sense question. Mm-hmm. And I hate to sound so blunt about it because I think that word's overused now, but it really is. I mean, a building that costs you $20,000 a month, so do the math times 12, that scares me. I mean, that's
a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
But then, you have all that, but also the pressure that puts on the staff, too, because it's not like they are paying the repair bills, but when you always have to worry about something breaking or you're getting ready to, start your day and boom, here comes water dripping from the ceiling.
And it does, almost weekly. Yep. Almost weekly.
That's a great note. Yeah. And now, what do you think that would do for your staff, though, if you do have a brand new building?
I think the morale, the staff, I have to say, is wonderful. They're fantastic, and their energy and their enthusiasm for their jobs now is off the charts. I think getting into a new building would just bring a lot of life that we already have, but it sparks even greater creativity because we're all together. Instead of trying to man 2 circulation desks and taking up that amount of staff. Now you have 1, and maybe you just have 2 people, and now you have 4 people that can get out and do more story times, more community events, more one-on-one computer work. It's just
it opens up a lot of opportunity for the staff that they don't have now.
Yeah.
And to piggyback too on the sides of the district, our district is over 100 square miles.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. We take in 3 townships. Every township is 36 square miles. Wow. So that's over 100 square miles of territory that we cover. That's a large area.
That is. And that's why I think it's good to notate that, though, for the public in case something does happen where it's in, a Godfrey or a Foster Township at first, and they see that headline and go, what?
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's part of this district, and it's where the map comes into play. Before I let you go, what's the best way for the public to reach out? If they do have questions, is it to a board member in the library district? Is it to this?
They can reach out to Mary. They can reach out to myself. Obviously, they can reach out to any member of the board. But yeah, Mary and myself would probably be your best resources to contact, and we're more than willing to answer any questions that you have.
I'm really excited to follow this process. Because this is historic for Alton, because Hayner Library is one of the most historic components of the city, and I think if you add this is a really exciting chapter. What's your final thoughts at this point right now for the public?
I think that the public, we want them to be engaged. We want to hear what they think, what their ideas are. Also, too, I want the public to know that this process has been totally transparent.
Yes.
We could have went into executive session to discuss some of these things. We have not done that one time.
That's incredible.
It's been there for the public to see and to hear. We're not trying to hide anything. We want everybody involved.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited by it because, like I said, for 30 years have worked here and seen what a wonderful asset it is to the community, and I just see this as being an opportunity to just expand on that and just be something that Alton and Godfrey, I feel like libraries in general are a place that people aspire, that they should be something bigger than just a building. They're sort of the community place, and I'm excited to see how that works.
And it would be nice to have the CJ Nasello show right there. In our new building.
Now that would be something too. I think we can make that work.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll be keeping you updated. More Daily Show comes your way next, and we will fill you in with a recap article. Bi-State Development joins us on the show. Some exciting news from them. Mary is in the studio again.
Yeah.
Not this Mary.
Oh, yeah,
Mary
different
Lane.
Mary. Okay, I was like, yeah, I am.
Back in a moment.
With over 20
20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Daily Show. Mary, you know, I have told people over and over again when I talk about the North Alton Godfrey Business Council that you were one of the most impressive presentations that I've heard there. Seriously, because it blows my mind whenever I learn about Bi-State Development for the first time. And you really see the impact and just the amount of, not only just money, but the amount of impact that this area has for global commerce. But also now, when you keep joining us, it's just the ways that you are growing the region, you know, as a whole. And I think it's exciting. And now we're talking about these resources that are connecting area youth to a really exciting couple of fields.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah, there's always a tremendous amount of things going on in this area. And as much as I like to say we've got a great marketing staff, I think the truth really is there's so many great things going on in our area, whether it's transportation or manufacturing.
This is just incredible. And now, you know, whenever we talk about aerospace, and I think that this is one that, you know, for the younger generations makes more and more sense, but I'm kind of not as connected, you know, to the new types of opportunity. And I think the older generations are not. Maybe you think of aerospace as a certain type of job. What are the new opportunities in aerospace? Because it seems like this area is really just a hotbed for it right now.
We really are. We're actually very unique. So for the St. Louis region, we have three main anchor aerospace manufacturing companies. Mm-hmm. We have Gulfstream, Boeing, and Westar. And that in itself is pretty unique. Sometimes when you think about other regions, they have one really big anchor like Boeing.
Mm-hmm.
For the St. Louis region, we have these 3 big anchors. So from a resiliency perspective, that helps keep that stability and the growth. They support over 17,000 jobs. And then with that said, all of the consultants and contractors who are supporting those 3 anchors, they support over 300,000 jobs. So that's kind of the lead in as far as this diverse ecosystem that we have. And that's where a couple years ago, we put together some statistics telling that story. We realized that moving forward, we have over $5 billion of infrastructure projects related to aerospace and aviation. That's going to create another 900 jobs. And so we got all the industry leaders together, and we got together and like, what do we need to do to support those jobs in this robust industry? And one of the action items was putting together these roadmaps that identify these great career opportunities.
This is incredible. And you know, whenever you're working with those leaders and you're working with the youth, what's that tie-in? What are they seeing in terms of how do you reach across the aisle, so to speak? Because it seemed like, 10, 15 years ago, these jobs were great, opportunities, but it seemed like, let's focus on more of a traditional path. But it seems like this in the last couple of years has just exploded with a lot of young people eager to really kind of dive in and learn about this. And even for older people to maybe reconfigure their career a little bit, go back, learn, and get back into it.
Yeah, so one of the first things that happened a couple of years ago is we got the 5 airport directors of our 5 largest airports in the Bi-State region together, then all the aerospace industry leaders together. And at that point, I think that's really an important story to tell as far as that collaboration where they all came and said, we're not necessarily competing with each other.
Yeah.
The Boeing, the Gulfstream, the Westar, those 5 airports, basically, they've recognized we have this really impressive space, and there's these opportunities, so number one, to support that workforce, but to grow it.
Yeah.
And then that's where, because of this collaboration, where they're just trying to lift this industry, one of the first action items they had is we need to identify a roadmap, something that's specific for the St. Louis region that basically we can get in front of high school students and basically say, here's how you can get to the front door of these major aerospace manufacturing companies, and then explain some of these really creative ways that they can get involved and be part of that.
So I just want to point out, we're going to show you that roadmap here and that some of those options. Are the colors the different opportunities on this map? Am I looking at this correct?
Okay, so that map, you're basically looking at 300,000 dots, and that represents all of the workforce in the Bi-State region. And so currently. And so the point of us doing that was just from a graphical perspective saying, if you're in the manufacturing industry, bring your business here. We've got that robust workforce. But then the other thing it does a good job, and that is if something great is going on in St. Louis County, if you're in Madison or St. Clair County, you can be part of that.
Yeah.
And then it also ties into everything we're trying to do from an infrastructure perspective, where we've got all these great things supporting that robust industry.
I just saw that map and I'm like, what
is that?
Yes.
Well, it's 300,000 dots.
Well,
so
and just, that to me is just, it's so much more meaningful than 300,000 jobs too. I mean, that could be in terms of a thriving, local economy too, because think about that. Someone that has a great paying job is able to go and support their, high school booster club or their athletic programs or local charities and all those other options and buy local and all of those things that really make a community, no matter what size, thrive.
Yeah, and so working with those industry leaders, we said, all right, let's put a roadmap together, but there's so many different groups of individuals we need to target. And
this is cool.
And that's where the leaders said we need to focus on high school students.
Yep.
Like I said, we can focus on, all these different groups. It has to be high school students. That's the missed opportunity. And so basically we put it together, and we've got a fact sheet if you're interested in aerospace or aviation. Aerospace, just to give you an idea, and again, we're just streamlining it and basically saying that if you are a high school student or you have your GED, there are jobs, if you want to enter the workforce immediately, you can be a sheet metal worker, you can be a machinist, you can be a welder, you can be a woodworker, and that if you're interested in like cabinet making, furniture, finishing, woodworking, machine operator, painting, and assembler, those are jobs that you can just literally walk right out of high school and enter that.
That's incredible. And I'm on the website, and we'll take you back to that website because right as Mary started talking about that, I decided to kind of go deep diving a little bit myself. And this is the 4-year or the high school diploma and GED section of the website. You have a PDF option here. But think about this. Look at these numbers here. I mean, these are good paying jobs.
They're good. And then the other thing is the benefits are outstanding.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
The benefits are outstanding. The other thing is because these 3 major manufacturing companies are all at the table, they're streamlining that process. They have these great programs for the onboarding so that you have a really good understanding of what that job looks like. And, you know, the other thing is when you talk about some of these jobs, a sheet metal worker, a machinist, and you're like, I really don't know if I can relate to that. One of the things that we're trying to do is maybe kind of flip that around and basically say, if you're in high school and you are playing on a team sport, and think about what that goal is when you work together as a team. You have a goal, okay, to win something, and you're all working together and you have your unique part. That is no different than building an aircraft.
Right.
You have a specific role, but in the end, this is what you're doing. So any of those skills or of interest that you have as far as being on a team sport, that could literally apply to these jobs that we have here.
That is absolutely incredible. And it's such a great tie-in. You're right, because, you know, to me, it's all about feeling the importance of a job anymore for a younger generation. You know, what's the meaning there? You know, it's not really the dollar bill anymore for a lot of kids that I've talked to, Mary. It's the fact that, you know, they want to be able to say, I did something, or I'm valuable. And every one of these, you're a valuable member of that specific team. And going into the team aspect, too, with Bi-State as a whole, with all of these major contributors to a global economy, you know, take me through how much of this project and how much of the workforce development aspect, I don't want to say the word consume, but is utilized in the Bi-State development, you know, workload. Is this a major component of what you're looking to do? Is this just an additional component of what you at Bi-State have already continued to do? Could you fill me in a little bit more?
Sure. So the things that we're talking about right now are really under the Department of St. Louis Regional Freightway.
Okay.
So that really focuses on the manufacturing transportation. But kind of taking a step back at Bi-State, we have several different enterprises.
Gotcha.
So we've got the transit component. And that's where with our transit staff, whether it's for light rail or bus operating services, we're always looking for mechanics, bus operators, or Metrolink drivers. We own and operate the riverboats in front of the Gateway Arch. So we're always looking for seasonal and full-time employees for our riverboats in front of the Gateway Arch. We own and operate the St. Louis Downtown Airport in Cahokia Heights, Illinois. And then we also have staff that are assigned to the Gateway Arch.
I'm only chuckling because it's just incredible that all of this is able to be done. It's truly incredible.
It is. Yeah.
And now, before we take a quick break, we're going to come back and talk a lot more about this, because it's not just for high school, you know, those high school diplomas, GED. If you want to go 4 years and work through college and that's what you've decided, there's a ton of opportunities waiting for you when you get out of there, and really just new career seekers too. So we'll go through, look at all of that. We'll talk about Bi-State development as a whole a little bit more, and just more of the opportunities in the region, because it's really just incredible to talk about a lot of good and really just a lot of cool stuff too when it comes to the Metro East. More Daily Show at 10:45 next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Hey me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do.
Daily Show, welcome back. Back in with Mary. You know, we were just talking during the break, and it's not just aerospace, it's really this avionics. And this is what I think is so cool because, you know, it's just as simple as, and not really just as simple as, my generation thinks it's simple, but Wi-Fi on an airplane. Fill me in on this because we were talking, and I walked back to my office over there, and it just blew my mind that, you know, something as innovative as that is an opportunity for someone right here.
Yeah, and it's taking place right here in our backyard. So avionics, it's the electronics and technology, but it focuses on the navigation system for aircraft.
This is so cool.
And so that's where there are opportunities right here in our backyard. Southwestern Illinois Community College at the Granite City campus, they have an avionics program. Lewis and Clark is in the process of announcing a new project sometime in 2026.
Really?
Or not project, but program for avionics. And the point on that is you've got this brain power and training program that if you were interested in that, you would then be part of this cutting edge technology that's providing that navigation for aircrafts. But the cutting edge is when we're flying on commercial planes for vacation or business, and you think about when you're traveling and your internet kind of goes in and out.
Yep.
Sometimes that goes out for the aircraft as well. And so that's where you've got these programs that you could be part of the design and cutting edge innovation to try and make those systems better. And that's going on right here in our backyard.
So that's where the tie-in came in because I was thinking, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And now you're right because if that does, I mean, that's a vital component and a vital job for not only, you know, the economy, obviously, but also for people in general and safety. This is huge.
It is. And then at our local high schools, whether you're Belleville Township High School or the Collinsville High School, they've got aviation and aerospace programs that they're introducing young people to all these different career paths.
I love it.
And we focused on aerospace, we focused on avionics, but there's also the aviation part as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's where right out of high school, if you're interested in being a flight attendant, a transportation security officer, a reservation agent, a baggage handler, handler. Those jobs are here because, again, I mentioned we have 5 airports in this area.
That blows my mind when you say that because, obviously I know of 3 because of Bethalto, but you got, Mid-America, right? In
Mascoutah, Belleville. And then we've got the St. Louis Regional Airport right here in Bethalto. Then you have St. Louis Downtown Airport in Cahokia Heights, Illinois. On the in the Missouri side, you have St. Louis Lambert International and then Spirit Airport in Chesterfield. And the point is that if you're interested in the aviation aspect, there is career paths there. And actually, I've told the story before, our airport director at the Cahokia Heights Airport, St. Louis Downtown, when we needed to fill that position, I reached out to Mid-America and Spirit Airport, and they had their airport directors help me with that interview process, and that's where everybody's working in collaboration. And the point is, Sandy Shores, our airport director, she's a young woman working in this space. I won't be surprised in the next couple of years, her and her counterparts could be moving to these other airports. And that's where you get that expertise here, and the sky's the limit as far as job opportunities.
That's incredible. Well, and I just a little bit more into this too. I mean, we have in Belleville specifically with the cave is just so cool. Collinsville is doing a lot of great work, and Alton's adding so many more additions to their programs. A lot of area schools are really diving into these types of opportunities. And, when you're working with the task force, when you're working just putting the final touches on it and you're seeing the results, what are the thoughts of the admin of the schools? Are they excited? Is this something to where, they're seeing their students motivated and more eager?
Yeah, they are completely embracing it. And it just felt like in the past, sometimes I think there was always the interest in partnering with these companies. But the fact with this industry, they're embracing it.
Yeah.
So Gulfstream actually has full-time employees assigned to the cave at the Belleville campus right now. Westar has their Westar Academy. So that's where they have SWIC instructors assigned to the Westar facility for their academy. And so that's really unique that you've got full-time aerospace manufacturing leaders working at the high school, or you've got the community college leaders working at these different campuses. And then, we've mentioned Collinsville. They've got an aviation program as well. So that's where you can kind of see where that path is leading. And that's where we're trying to build that awareness at an early age.
Absolutely. You guys can find out more by going to thefreightway.com. That's thefreightway.com. And you can see that tab. We will link everything in a write-up on RiverBender so you can see it. But, Mary, is this the best way for parents and the public and school admin to get more information on this?
Yeah, visit us at aerostl.org. And this was one of the first tasks that we had, and that was to try and get all this great information in a central location. Mm-hmm. So not only does it have the road maps, but if you're interested in events or programs, it's all there. Further down, if you're interested in where are these jobs, we've got a direct link with Boeing, Gulfstream, and Westar as far as what those jobs are. There's a brief description on each job, and then it also says what does the job outlook look for these types of positions. So everything is there about the St. Louis region in this robust ecosystem that we have.
Well, this is just incredible because you can really, you can have a great career with so many opportunities. And I think so many times we always handcuff ourselves in a way when, whether it's a new career seeker or as a younger person, because, well, dang it, I didn't go to, I didn't get my, my master's, I didn't get my bachelor's, I didn't get this. And what you're telling everyone is that's okay because there's still a role for you and an exciting role and one that you can, build that career on and you can stay there for as long as you like and really create that opportunity for you and your family.
Yep, and I think what makes it unique is the fact that you've got these 3 major aerospace manufacturing companies giving us that input and basically leading and championing these efforts.
Mm-hmm. So cool. Mary, what else should we talk about when it comes to this that we haven't yet before I say goodbye for now?
St. Louis region, we continue to be a global logistics hub. We continue to be the most efficient inland port in the nation.
That's incredible.
We continue to be the agricultural coast of America, which means nowhere else on the inland waterway system is moving the amount of ag or fertilizer products anywhere on the inland waterway system. And what that really means is we're helping feed the world.
And I hate to ask this, and this is just one of those kind of CJ thoughts. Has there ever been conversation with any federal government in the last, 12 years even or 16 about, really putting a stamp on that from a national level and really highlighting the importance of that region?
So they are absolutely embracing it.
Really cool.
Yeah, they are embracing it. And when different public agencies or entities are applying for grant funding for infrastructure, they're putting, we're the agricultural coast of America, because that basically tells that story. This is a cost-effective place to move commodities throughout not only the U.S., but throughout the world.
Incredible. Mary, it's always a great pleasure talking with you, and I can't wait to do it again soon.
All right, thanks for the invite.
We'll take a quick break. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com, and we'll come back and wrap up the Monday morning that was right after this on Roku and Riverbender.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sounds like the radio back in 94, you know. Hook the speaker up to my soul. It sounds like the radio. Sounds like a damn good time. Soaking up some neon light. Well, it's a little bit of fiddle.
Welcome back. It is 11 o'clock in downtown Alton. You are watching this show for the final few seconds on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Thank you for watching. We had a great show. I mean, that was fantastic. Fantastic show. A lot of great news in that. Thank you all for being a part of it. Thank you to the thousands in the international audience, literally, that watched the Halloween parade. And thank you for all of you for the 20 years of RiverBender.com. We're going to be celebrating all year long. Have a great rest of your day. Until I talk to you tomorrow, try your best to stay out of jail.